It's January, a fresh start to the year, a time to reset and refocus. This month, I'm getting back into my routines, setting goals, and starting new projects. But let's take it one step at a time. What about you? What's one thing you're excited to focus on this year? Getting back into work and your normal routine after the holidays can feel overwhelming. I was definitely not ready, but I'm trying to take it one day at a time and not get too stressed about it. Luckily, I don't have a job where I have to clock in at a specific time, so I just took it slow for the first morning. I'm not gonna lie, it's been very hard this morning and it's freezing out there, but I'm low-key looking forward to this month because January is all about resetting, establishing new routines, and setting your goals for the new year. So I'm just really excited to start fresh. And after reflecting on the past year and looking towards 2025, I've set some goals that I'm excited to start this month, and especially this week because last week I was still on holidays, so it didn't really count, you know? And in the spirit of getting back into normal, I always start my morning with a green juice. This is really good for my gut health, and I'm kind of ashamed to admit it, but I'm a grown adult and I don't like eating veggies. Of course, I still eat them, but this is also kind of compensating for all the veggies I don't eat. And I also love starting with a hot tea. I don't usually drink coffee in the morning. I just like having a hot beverage for just warmth and comfort. So yeah, this is my go-to this morning. Thankfully, I'm working from home today, so it's an ease to going back to work and back to normal. I'm really thankful for today. I love working from home because I'm a huge introvert, so going to the office takes a lot of energy out of me, but still sometimes I need to go. So I try to see the positive and also put on cute outfits to motivate me a little bit more to get out of my place. What a week typically look like for me? Well, from Monday to Friday, of course I work during the day and I reserve maybe half a day in the weekend to do content. If you're also a part-time creator, I would highly recommend to do this same and just batch create. This really saves my life because I don't have time to shoot content every day. I'm busy with other things, so I reserve a specific time frame to do all of my content, and then I am done for 2 weeks. Sometimes during summer when we have more daylight, I can shoot content on the evening during the week, but during winter, forget that. It's pitch black at 4 o'clock, so I can really just rely on the weekends. I take most of my content even outside by myself with a tripod, and honestly, this app called Lens Buddy is so useful. You can basically just set a timer and a number of photos you want to take, and it does all of this automatically. Of course, it's a little bit more complicated because you don't see what you take, but with a little bit of practice, you get the hang of it. After work during the week, I will edit and just prepare my posts and things like that. This is really what works best for me. Balancing work, content creation, and just time for myself is not easy. I must admit, I struggled quite a lot last year actually. I was just overworking myself and burning myself out because I'm just an overachiever in life, in my personal life and professional life. So when I do something, I want to do it so perfectly. So what basically happened last year is that I was trying to do my best at my 9 to 5, of course, because it's my job, but also on social media, I was just trying to do everything a full-time influencer does. But the truth is I'm not a full-time influencer, so of course it was unrealistic to put that bar that high for me balancing all of this. So last year I just didn't really have time for myself and do things I enjoy, reading or baking, or just enjoy a quiet weekend in. I was always just hustling, you know? One of my goals this year is really to manage all of this better. So in December, I just assessed everything I was doing and just decided to keep the things I really wanted to do for this year regarding content creation. So I'm gonna post a little bit less on Instagram, but at least when I post something, it's gonna be something that I'm really proud of, because last year I was putting so much pressure on myself to just post every day, that sometimes I would just like post something that I didn't really like just for the sake of posting, and then I would kind of regret it because it didn't meet my expectations. So anyway, this year I'm focusing on quality instead of quantity. So this is already a big change. And one thing I'm gonna do this year, and that I highly recommend you doing too if you're trying to balance like a few things in your life, is really establishing a routine and almost like schedule everything in your calendar to make sure you do everything you really want to do in your day, your week, or month. I am already someone that's super organized, so I was doing this already last year, but you should see like my calendar and schedule last year. It was just like basically packed with work, like either my 9 to 5 or just content creation. So I didn't have time to do other things like hobbies. This year I'm gonna include time to do things that I love, and even like scheduled time to just relax and watch like series or read a book or things like that. Because if I don't do that, I know myself, and when I have like free time, I tend to just find something to do and just like work instead of just enjoying some downtime. This is really my number one tip for all of my fellow type A's out there. So anyway, speaking of scheduled downtime, it's actually time for me to take a break. Getting back to my normal routine also meant it was time to get back to the gym again after weeks or even months of not working out. So yeah, I've been out of it for a while, so I'm starting smaller, just trying to work out 3 times a week and doing what I can. It's more about building the habit than being perfect. You cannot trust motivation to be there all the time. Most of the time, I don't feel like working out. I do it anyways, and rarely are the times that I regret it after. I always feel proud of myself when I show up. I do a mix of gym workouts and at-home workouts. I do strength training and cardio, so it doesn't get boring. Because your girl can't run. I've tried many times, but I just find it too boring. I also do my best to hit 10k steps a day. It's harder during winter for sure because I don't feel like going out just to take a walk when it's snowing and freezing. But luckily, my mini treadmill is super useful for those cold nights, and I can enjoy a TV show or a movie while walking. I also never skip a post-workout cool down and stretching. Personally, I really enjoy it. It's kind of a rewarding moment when I can enjoy the work I just did and relax. Speaking of which, this year, taking more time for myself and do things I enjoy is one of my priorities. For example, I love baking, but I just didn't really take the time to do so last year. I was always in a rush and working on some things. I used to bake so much before, especially during the pandemic, tried many different techniques, but unfortunately with content creation and the return to office, I don't have that much time anymore. However, I still want to take more time to do this year and just enjoy the process of baking and decorating desserts. One thing I really love doing is just hanging out and going to coffee shops. So this year I kind of challenged myself, and I want to go to at least one new coffee shop every month by myself just to hang out, read, and work. Another of my goals is to read more this year. I am kind of ashamed to admit that last year I didn't read at all because I just felt like too burned, but I do love reading. So this year I also challenged myself to read at least 12 books, so one every month. I used to read a lot more than that, but because now I'm so busy, I'm trying to be realistic. I just finished my first book of the year. I read Part of Your World from Abby Jimenez. I love her and her books. I discovered her with her Friend Zone series, and I heard a lot of great comments about this second series she wrote, especially on TikTok. Girls were like raging about her books. That's why I decided to read this one first in 2025. I honestly loved it, probably like a 4 stars. The plot is the classic city girl that falls in love with a small town guy. It honestly made me feel like I was reading like a Hallmark movie, but if it was like very well written. The little twist here was the fact that she is older than him, like 10 years older. And what I really loved about it is that they mixed a lot of real life stuff. We're touching a little bit of like domestic abuse and family pressures. And with all these elements, I think this is what made it a little bit more realistic realistic and not like all these other cheesy books or movies. So yeah, for this first book of this series, I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to read the other two. The next one is Yours Truly, and then the one after is Just for the Summer, if I remember correctly. I don't know if I'm gonna read them like right away because I have like a huge book list to go through, but I'm so happy that my reading challenge is on track and that I finished my first book this month. I'm also all ears if you have some recommendations for me. I usually love all these like romantic and cheesy novels, but I also do love a good mystery or like darker books. So yeah, it's kind of funny because it's like very opposite, but these are my two moods. It's my birthday! Well, it's actually not today, but this weekend I'm celebrating with my friends and family. So tonight we're just having like a casual at-home dinner with my family. We're eating raclette and I'm very excited about this because I love cheese and I've been wanting to eat that for a while. So just excited for dinner. And I also ordered a cake, like you know those vintage heart cake that we see all over social media right now. So very excited to discover this cake today. And then I'm also having like a night out with my besties at a restaurant. So this is gonna be super fun too. Another year older. I'm turning 33 this year, but instead of feeling pressure to have it all figured out like I first felt when I turned 30, I'm learning to embrace where I am in life, be grateful for the things I have and the people I have in my life, because everybody's different and we all have our plans and life happens. Every year it's like a tradition. Since I've started creating content on Instagram, I always love doing an at-home photo shoot for my birthday on a different theme. This year, because we see vintage cakes all over social media, I really wanted to have one too and create the whole theme around this. I went with a vintage aesthetic with roses and candles. I'm so happy about the final results. It was honestly quite simple to set up, but the results were amazing. I was so happy about the photos at the end. If you want to see them all, definitely go check my Instagram. So it's time for my birthday celebration number 2 tonight. I'm going out with my friends at this restaurant called Pangaea in Old Montreal. It looks super tasty and really cute inside, so I'm excited to try it. And before I go, I just wanted to show you like what I decided to wear. Look at this super cute dress. I love the contrast trim here with the velvet material. I think it just looks so chic yet very cute with that poofy skirt. So yeah, very excited for tonight. This year I wanted to keep the celebration small, only with my 2 besties. I usually invite all my group of friends, but this year, I don't know, 33 didn't really feel special. Since my late 20s and especially in my 30s, birthdays always make me think about what really matters, and I don't really care about going out or being with a lot of people. I just want to be with the people I love the most. This month was all about starting fresh, getting back into my routines, celebrating small wins, and setting my intentions for the year. It wasn't perfect, but that's okay. It's only the first month of the year, and it's all about just progressing after all. January can be brutal too for us in Montreal because we are freezing. We had a lot of days where it was like below -15 or even -20. And it's really not easy to be living in this daily. I never want to go out and we don't have a lot of sun, so it can be kind of depressing. But like I said, it was all about celebrating small stuff. So I'm just super happy about getting back to the gym, starting creating content again. And since the beginning of the month, I am also in process of like rebranding my whole social media presence. So I changed my username. I'm just like rebranding all my style and and the type of content I am doing. Yeah, a bunch of tests, trial and errors. I'm trying new things, so it's really exciting. It kind of gave me like a little boost of motivation again, even if I was like super stagnant the last year. I'm looking forward to see where it goes. I'm also so proud of myself for actually taking the time for doing small things for me and just relax. So hopefully I can keep up this pace for the whole year and not going back in my cycle of like trying to do everything all the time and just burning myself out. But this month was a great start. And this is actually my first like monthly vlog I do on this channel. I started liking more and more doing vlogs, so I really wanted to try to do vlogs more frequently. For me, I wouldn't be realistic to do it every week, so I decided to go with a monthly basis. I'll see if I can keep up for the rest of the year, but I really enjoyed doing this one, and hopefully you liked it too. But definitely let me know in the comments if you have any feedback or want to see more of something, less of other things. And I want to end this video by asking you what's something you accomplished this month and that you are proud of. Let me know in the comments so we can cheer each other up, and hopefully I'll see you real soon in my next video. Bye loves!